Like, I think just having a positive attitude is the most important thing because it's easy to let the negative thoughts creep in. Like, I don't belong here. Like, these people are so much faster than me. And so I think my first step has just been keeping that positive mentality. Like, I do belong here. Like, I put in the training. I want to do this. Like, I think this is fun, and not be negative, honestly. And I did notice it's hard when like your stomach starts hurting because you can run through that. So it's like mental and physical at the same time. So that was something I battled with. I probably did. So HURT is 5 20-mile loops. And I pretty much had an entire loop, the fourth one. So like mile, what is that? 60. I couldn't eat from 60 to 80. I think I had too much sugar, not enough real food, too much caffeine and electrolytes, not enough water. So my stomach just started hurting and like bad digestion things started happening. And then you just get in your head, and going 20 miles after 60 miles without eating. There's a video of me eating banana pancakes eventually, and I just look gone. And then you see my finish line photo after I had eaten the last loop, and I'm just like a completely different person. And like it is physical, but a lot of that is mental as well. You're just like, I want to lay down. I want to go to bed. I want to throw up.
So in the HURT, how long, like, to do a 20-mile loop 5 times, right? For 100 miles? Like, what were you looking at?
I was like, I just want to finish. I don't want to put a time pressure or place podium finish on myself. I don't want that stress. And so I was like, I don't know. My crew chief said maybe 5-6 hours. I was like, maybe 6. She said, you're probably going to do 5 hours for each loop. And then my first loop was 4:35.
Nice.
And yeah, it was like one of the faster loops out of the last 25 years that this course has happened for women. And I was running with second and third place, who were last year's first and third place finishers. And I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? I should be going slower. And then the next loop I ran with the woman who had won last year. And we probably ran like 30 some miles together. And it just felt like a comfortable pace. And so I think the second lap was a little over 5 hours. Third lap is eventually when things started going south towards the end. So I think that was maybe a 6-hour loop. So loop 4 and 5 were death marches. And they were like, God. I don't know, like 8.5 hours each. And so I think maybe if I slowed down a little bit more in the beginning, had real food, more water with my electrolytes, that it would have saved some time in the end.
So clock to clock, what are you like? What is that? Like 20?
32, 45.
Hours? Wow.
Sounds a long time to be out there.
That's a freaking ton of time. Like how much break time are you giving yourself, like in between?
We were doing like 2 minutes at aid stations for the first 3 laps, but it slowly deteriorated.
You are a savage. I said this in the intro, like you're a savage, and I mean that in the best of ways. Like you're a sweetheart savage, like straight up. Like
that's fun.
I don't think there's no way mentally I could go through that.
Well, it didn't
way.
last. My loop 4, I have this like super sweet pacer that flew out, Benjamin Townsend, who's only 21 years old, and he's never crewed or paced before. And he did amazing. Like that poor guy, like his longest run is 4 hours, and he was out there for like at least 8 hours with me and just doubled his longest run. Granted, a lot of it was hiking, but he had to deal with me just not being able to eat. And so the first aid station we hit together, I looked at him and he knew I wanted to drop, and he just wouldn't entertain the idea, just kind of ignored my face of like, yeah, I can't keep going. And so it's like, okay, I'll take these snacks.
You ever take it out on your pacer? You get mean or nasty with them?
I don't think so. Yeah. So this was hard. I feel like I learned a little bit about myself as well. So the next aid station, I started going hypoglycemic. Like I was sitting there because I hadn't eaten for 14 miles and everything started going black. And it's that feeling when like you're about to pass out. So I had to lay down in the med tent they gave me 3 minutes, and I started drinking more of my precision drink mix. I got it down without throwing it up, and it was scary because I was like, I'm hypoglycemic. How do I go back into this gnarly course and like put myself at risk? But he was just like, sip your gel just here and there, like every 5 minutes, so patient with me. And he got me through that loop. And I think I realized that like there are some people that maybe get hangry, but I'm just so grateful that these people are out here making sure that I don't fall off this cliff. And I think I just get quiet and like I feel like I'm being mean and angry, but I'm just quiet. And I'm like,
I can't imagine you mean or angry.
oh man,
I want to see that side of you sometime.
I hope.
Just not
I
at
hope you
not
don't
at me.
have to.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. What is the terrain like there? Because I think it's not like you're running on a flat track.
No,
or
there's no
like,
flat. It's the shirt. It's on my. You can see the profile on the back of my shirt.
Oh, that's the vert?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
You're constantly going up or down, and it's steep. It's like each climb's like 1,500 feet in like 3 to 5 miles, and you're either going up or you're going down.
At what point do your legs start to fatigue on the down? Because like that's probably where a lot of people are making up time, right?
I think I made time on the ups, and normal people make time on the downs. Right. And so my knees just started hurting on the downhills, and I was taking them super easy, but I could pull away on the uphills at least. So the uphill felt totally fine. It's when I would try to just keep going faster, and then the downhills I was going slow because it's not only steep, the trail's super technical. Like, you guys should pull up some footage of the actual course. It's just roots.
That's what I saw when like on your Instagram posts.
Yeah.
Where should we go for the footage?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Did I
go to
I have
Reels?
A thumbnail up on top. The Hurt 100. My friend Shelby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go to that.
Took some amazing on the that first little to the left, and then
this guy.
That one. I think somewhere in there's some footage, but it's just a lot, and it's all like kind of pretty.
Like you have to pick up your feet the whole time, right?
Yeah. And so that was my biggest thing is I was terrified of falling. There's a little bit of footage, There's roots, and this is like a pretty mellow part of it.
Well, the thing about roots too is like most rocks you can kind of like scrape your feet over, but a root will like naturally catch your foot. Like it's meant to like catch your toes, really.
I only fell once. The rocks were pretty slippery, but we were lucky. It was pretty dry and not super muddy. Whereas some years it's just sloppy. But I was kind of hoping for rain and mud. I wanted it to be like the harder, the better. But
savage.
It was
This
crazy.
is so cool. Look at how beautiful that is, though.
It was so lush and so green. I was so happy.
So you went straight from Colorado to here, right? Did you give yourself any time to acclimate, or were you there like a couple days before? Or?
I flew out about a week ahead of time. And so I had some time to adjust to the humidity. And the whole course is almost completely shaded. I think it's like 99.9% trail, and it's all under forest canopy. So it didn't feel super hot, but you could feel the humidity. Like you were just sweating and you wouldn't dry.
Is there any coastal? Are you running anywhere near the coast during this? Or
You're like 3.5 miles from the coast.
Okay.
So you can see some cool spots. A lot of this is at the start finish, which is
you look pretty good there.
station.
What lap was that?
I think this is going in. This is the third lap. This is like 7.5 miles into the third lap. So things went south after this. So this is.
You look in like great spirits there,
like
though. Like you're in your element.
Yeah, things were good until like mile 60.
Until mile 60.
I can do all gels until mile 60, I learned. And then it gets hard. I was like, well, my walking pace was the same as my hiking pace. Or hiking was the same as my running pace. So I was trying to just get through it.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. Yeah, there's just roots. There's one part where the roots are so dense that there's like little places like just the size of a foot. You have to step so carefully. It's just
Really?
So dense with roots, and it's on a slope. So if you step on the root, they're slick. So you just slide down. It's fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I was
Look
like,
at you there.
after I did this, I'm like, I don't feel the need to come back. Like, I would come volunteer because the volunteers were amazing. But now I'm like, I get it. I would go back. This part's funny. She recorded over me, but she's like, how are you feeling? And I like whispered, like, I feel like garbage. This is a good shot of the roots. Yeah, they're gnarly. It's a really cool course.
Do you carry those trek poles with you, or?
I saved them for the last loop, and I thought I would have wanted them more, but I really didn't. So
Yeah, that's.
you have to focus a lot.
So
on
is this
where
your
you're putting
team here?
them. Yeah, that's my crew.
Okay, badass.
Yeah, I'm so lucky that so many people came out. I had